Am I the butthole for getting my own streaming services? My boyfriend, 28M, has given our streaming service passwords to several of his friends: Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney, etc. If you're someone who shares a streaming service with several people, you're probably aware that there's a cap on how many people can stream at once. Since our streaming services are being shared with so many people, he doesn't remember how many people and which of his friends he shared it with. It's very difficult to watch anything since there's always multiple people at any given time. Whenever we try to watch a show or movie together, and we can't proceed because of limitations, he'll excuse it by saying we'll just try later when they're not watching. The issue is someone is always watching, laughing out loud. My patience began to wear thin. So I told my boyfriend, I don't mean to be nasty, but your friends are being freeloaders. They have jobs, and if they want to use HBO Max, they can pay for their own subscription. It's really hard to watch anything we want to watch with so many people on. He told me I was being selfish and that since he pays for it, he can share it with whoever he wants to. So I subscribed to a few services on my personal devices and paid for them. I was watching a show that I had been dying to watch on my laptop, and my boyfriend asked if I wanted to watch something with him. I said no thanks, I've been dying to catch up on this. He then said, see? Just be patient, not everyone is watching all the time. I said, oh, actually I made my own account. He got offended because he said he already pays for subscription services, so I'm just wasting my money and being childish. Not the butthole. Tell him you can do what you want with your money. Since he's not interested in giving you a say in the streaming services, you're allowed to get your own. Major not the butthole because I pay for the streaming devices at home, and my brother gave out the password to several of these friends and I would never be able to watch anything, so I just canceled the subscription and told him I'll no longer be subscribed and made a new account for myself. You could have just changed the password and logged out all the other devices. I know some streaming services allow that. Thank you all for the upvotes. I feel so popular. With all the wise words of wisdom I share with Reddit, I cannot believe this simple comment has gotten the most likes ever. Oh, life. Yeah, but then they'd have brother pestering for the new password. I know mine would have when they were younger. Just tell them you won't give it to them because they gave the previous ones to too many people and you couldn't watch things yourself. They'll argue, but just refuse to discuss it further. It's not that hard. Do you have siblings? I know quite a few people that wouldn't work on and who would constantly bring it up despite being told no. Yes, I have siblings. What I said them was, too bad. Get your own subscription. Yes, I have siblings. You just tell them no again. Rinse and repeat. It's annoying, but if you just give and they learn that if they pester you enough they'll get their way. I'm not saying give them their way, all I'm saying is I can understand why the person created an account without telling their brother. Yes, and also is fine. I get the feeling you have a hard time saying no and sticking to it. People will pester you if they know you will give in eventually. Original poster not the butthole. Yeah, but then he'd complain and my parents would ask me to share because that's just how Indian households work. Just how Indian households work. Ow, I feel your pain, not in terms of streaming services. My brother and I don't have a problem of multiple people using the account simultaneously. But I can still understand you. My wife gave her friends our Netflix PW. The first time I couldn't log on, I booted all devices and changed the PW. Not the butthole. That is the way. The best is when one of her friends had the balls to ask if I did it. My brother went in on my Hulu account and upgraded it to streaming live without my permission. I didn't know until I got hit with a $60 charge. Guess who doesn't have my login anymore? Not the butthole. Absolutely not the butthole. The boyfriend's level of disconnect is amazing. It's okay for him to do what he wants with his money and streaming accounts, but not the original poster? And what is the point of shelling out money for several services knowing that there's a slim chance of being able to get in and watch something? The point is that the boyfriend gets to look like a really great guy to his friends. Generous and giving. While the original poster can't watch anything on the services he pays for. So she has to get her own. Wait until the friend group finds out about that. Exactly this. Original poster is not being childish or wasting her money because he already pays for it since she can't ever use it. I would have done the same thing. Original poster, not the butthole. Maybe remind him that he is just your boyfriend and in no way has control of your finances. You also don't have to consult with him before you make decisions concerning your finances. Exactly. Plus, streaming services aren't crazy expensive. It's not like she's spending thousands of dollars on something useless. If she's lucky, she might have gotten the annual subscription for some of them, at least. Of the two, she actually gets to use her services unlike her boyfriend. And that's actually why he is angry. He created a mess he's too afraid to unravel. Yeah, if he stops his friends using his service, then he might lose friends, be the bad guy, and if he says it is because of his girlfriend, then he may well end up the butt of their jokes about being under the thumb and be the bad guy for not standing up to his woman, spit hists. Yeah, that's true. But some still do have free trials, which are nice. If he was Op's husband, he'd still have no control of her finances. Just a larger minority vote than today. Phrasing it that way makes it sound like if he gets promoted to husband, he would then have control of original poster's finances. That's still not going to fly in my book. Being her husband wouldn't grant him control of her finances either. Definitely not the butthole. He seems to be prioritizing the wants of his friends. He's not prioritizing you, and the time you spend together. And he's calling you childish? Red flag. Yup. There are a lot of selfless people who give in every direction except their own partner. It's like they are buying acceptance from those they deem better/more important, and are offended when the partner doesn't have the same priorities. Yes, good insight. Oh wow, it's my ex. This is exactly the way my ex was. He didn't prioritize me and then would get upset when I wouldn't prioritize him. When I brought up how he didn't prioritize me, he would always have some type of excuse as to why when he did it, it was different. Rolls eyes. Not the butthole. Your boyfriend needs to get his priorities straight. He's paying for his friends to use his account. Not a friend but multiple. First, this is stealing. Doing this means they have to raise their prices. I mean, we all have accounts we share with one or two other people, but if you have shared it with so many that you can't get on, then you're abusing it. Second, he needs to redefine friendship. It's not about giving so much you have to sacrifice. And if he's doing that, things will always be the issue. He's the guy who will let his friends sleep on the couch for 6 months. Or constantly pays for everyone's meal. It's not a healthy relationship. Yep, the type who pays for everyone's meal while his own family is starving, trying to fit in too hard. It definitely indicates he has a strong need to be the provider. He's trying to be that guy for all of his friends/family, and original poster. But nobody's really getting anything out of it because the account's spread too thin. Her choosing to have her own account sends the message that what he thinks he's providing and taking care of isn't enough or all that great. It definitely indicates he has a strong need to be the provider. He's trying to be that guy for all of his friends/family, and original poster. This is where my thoughts went immediately. He sounds like that guy who wants everyone to pat him on the back and talk about how generous he is, even if it's to the detriment of some of his relationships. I definitely don't necessarily blame him for being embarrassed by the idea of telling people they can't use something he offered to them previously, but I think he's just using excuses and doubling down with original poster because he wants to save face with his friends. As you said, he doesn't want to stop being that guy. Agree strongly with your points, except for it being stealing. Netflix and such aren't run by idiots. They know this is how many people use the subscription plans, and have incorporated it into their business strategy. And it's actually a great inbound marketing and sales strategy. That's why they have limits to the amount that can stream at one time instead of restricting the account to a single IP address or certain number of registered devices. Eventually these users that share end up getting their own accounts as their household grows with roommates or having kids, because once they've had it, it's hard to do without. The same idea is one of the reasons why free trials are a thing. The reason they increase prices is that they are a business whose goal is to increase profits, and also because they can. It's not because it's costing them more and so poor them are struggling. it's just basic business strategy. You would still see prices increase even if they restricted account access and no one shared. See, cable TV subscription plans back in the day, internet service plans, cell phone plans, and any other number of businesses that run on a subscription basis. Not the butthole. He got offended because he said he already pays for subscription services. And how's that working out for him? Yeah, my response would have been no, you're not, you're paying for other people to enjoy the service. And he accuses her of wasting money? Laughing out loud, he's paying for a service he can't even use, now that's a waste of money. I'm that friend who shares the passwords with other people, but only to the limit of how many people can watch to avoid this exact issue. Your boyfriend is generous but didn't really think this one through, since it seems like he can't even use the services he pays for when he wants to see everyone else's. At least you have your own now. Not the butthole. I will share with more, but if I text to get off, you get off, or I am forcibly logging everything out and changing the password. My boyfriend and I share passwords to a select few, but usually those few share passwords with us. Like our best friends may use our Netflix, but we use their Disney, etc., so no one is really mooching off anyone. It's a collective which has worked really well so far. I share with my mom and one friend. Did have to upgrade the plan, so we could all watch it, but mom shares one of hers with me, so in that case it evens out. Not the butthole. His logic is that since he pays for his services he can share them with whoever he wants, but now that you are paying for your own services, you are being childish and wasting your money? He's going out of his way to prove to you that, triangular flag on post, his friends are more important than you are, triangular flag on post, and that he thinks, triangular flag on post, he should be able to control what you're doing, triangular flag on post. Yeah, I detect 3 red flags. Created a situation where she and his friends were competing for resources, and then told her how to feel about it. Got upset with how she spent her own money. Called her childish, infantilizing your loved and saying their reasonable decisions are somehow obviously less evolved is never a good sign. Overall, sounds like original poster's partner wants people to be dependent on him, and wants some amount of power over other people. This is a small case, so hard to know if it's contained or not, but obviously an issue partner should work on, as it's not healthy for a relationship. Not the butthole. It's not selfish to want to use your services. I think he needs to realize that he's subsidizing greedy people, change the passwords, and limit who has access. I share my logins with my sister, and that's it. Not the butthole. If he wants to share his passwords, well, he's breached his contracts with the service providers, but that aside, it's a decision he's made. As an adult, you get to make other decisions. Not the butthole. I know the struggle of having a ton of people on your accounts. And if your boyfriend is comfortable putting his friends' wants and needs above his own, that's on him. I honestly think it's insane that someone who's paying for the services has to check back in later to see if his friends have gotten of. It's your money and you can do as you like. Clearly the streaming thing was bothering you, so I'm not sure why your boyfriend is upset you found a solution that didn't involve him asking his friends to get their own account. It's unreasonable for him to expect that you be cool waiting for something when you have the means and ability to resolve the issue. Not the butthole. If he can give his account it anyway because it's his money, then you can use your own account because you pay for it with your own money. His logic should be applicable everywhere, or else it isn't logic but bias. Edit, you are not wrong for telling him his friends are mooches. He pays for something he can't even use, yet his friends have total disregard if he can use it ever. Edit 2, English laughing out loud. Not the butthole. Don't give him your password. If he finds out, lay down your boundary that no one else is allowed to use it and check your account often. Sorry, wrong. If boyfriend finds out your password, change your password. Agree, given the boyfriend's history of allowing a lot of people to use his account, it's best to keep your password to yourself and change it if he discovers what it is. Now that you have your own streaming service, it's time to trade up for a new boyfriend, or you'll always be second place. Then you will be able to Netflix and chill whenever you like. Not the butthole. Your boyfriend is kind to his friends but at the expense of not of your own enjoyment of the product he pays for. So you found a solution for yourself, and he doesn't feel bad about kicking someone off. I share my streaming apps with family and friends but never to the point that I can't watch what I pay for when I want. Not the butthole. He's paying for something he can't use. He's the one wasting money. Not the butthole. Not the butthole at all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.